Welcome to the Voices That Propel Us, stories of justice, action, and community, a space where justice meets action and community voices rise. Each episode, we bring you stories from the front lines, changemakers, disruptors, and everyday heroes who are building a more just, equitable, and liberated world. This is more than a podcast. It's a call to listen, learn, and move together. You are just listening to music from the incredibly talented Stephen Kong. You can find him on Spotify and Bandcamp. Today we have with us Deepika Kukreja. Deepika is a poet, storyteller, and substitute teacher who brings deep compassion and reflection in everything she does. Born and raised in India, she immigrated to the United States after marriage, a journey that reshaped her understanding of home, belonging, and identity. Through literature and journaling, Deepika discovered writing as a powerful tool for healing, especially as she navigated grief, loss, and transformation. Her poetry is known for its honesty, vulnerability, and its ability to find beauty in everyday moments, whether in nature, human connection, or quiet observations of life unfolding around her. In the classroom, Deepika's warmth and openness create spaces where children feel seen and supported. Through both her teaching and her writing, she hopes to offer others a sense of comfort, connection, and the reminder that we become more human when we share our stories.
Who am I? Am I a mere mortal in this whole existence, carving my own path? Or I am more than what this transient life brings every moment? Impermanence and duality I experience in every pain and pleasure. Is this what it is all about? Some little happiness and some little sadness? A bit of good and a bit of evil? A heart broken there and a love fulfilled here? No. From all the rendezvous I had with life, after being in this bag of flesh in all these years, I feel there is something more than this. A bigger picture, beyond what these senses can see and hear. I feel it every morning when the whole sky is lit up with oranges and reds. When a complete stranger smiles brightly at me. When the birds start singing in the morning silence. When every spring brings a new birth. When every death starts questioning my own existence. When life brings uncertainty and gratitude together in the same moment. When I realize this body is just a tool of pleasures and pains, and I'm not only this body, I am more than this. I am not just a wife or a daughter or a friend or a sister or any role I was given time to time. Who am I then? I am the silence hiding behind words. I am the tears disguising the smiles. I am the death which brings birth with it. I am the love which is beyond space and time. I am the pause in every breath. I am the stillness under the ebb and flow. I am the river flowing to meet the sea. I am the rain drumming the window. I am the whisper of the wind and the rustle of the leaves. I am the mystery of this infinite universe. I am the part of this whole. I am the whole. I am a soul on its journey to the unknown.
Oh, hi, Deepika. I'm really excited and honored that you're here this morning. You do such like beautiful poetry. I think you really write from the heart and you can really connect with people. I'm excited about our conversation today. But how are you doing this morning?
I'm good, Denise. Hope you're doing well too. Thank you for having me, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, no, I'm excited too. And thank you so much for your time. And, I think you have such a rich history, rich story, and I'm excited to, yeah, just explore that with you. So, just to start off, can you please share a bit about your journey from growing up in India and making a home in America?
Yes, I was brought up in like northern India, like near New Delhi, and I was born and raised up there. All my schooling, all my education, my family, and I got married. I have never been to that small town ever in my life. So that was my whole world. And then my husband, after we got married, he wanted to move here and work here. That's what actually brought me here. And initially, I was very reluctant, and I didn't want to come. Actually, I never knew that is there a word that exists out of that town. And I was reluctant. I was sad. I was upset. And the most saddest part was that I couldn't work here when I came here.
Okay.
So I was on a spouse visa. So we moved here. So first few months were really like hard. I would be so depressed in the evening, waiting for him to come back from the office. I didn't have any friends. But I think after 2, 3 months, when I started going out, and once I visited Barnes and Noble,
Hmm.
and that was a kind of a magical experience for me because I have never seen that big libraries in India. I always wanted to read books, but I have never seen such a collection of book and easily accessible to you. And then, since I couldn't work, my husband suggested that I should volunteer in library because once I went to library and got a library card, I really wanted to be in that place. So I started working in library as a volunteer. That's the one thing. And I also made one friend from India. So these two things actually started making me like there is a home for me here, feel like. So I started volunteering. And to be honest, uh, everybody welcomed with so much love and warmth when I went to library, when I went to volunteer. So that's the one thing it started. And another thing was all my life, uh, my adult life during teenage, I was occupied in lots of family responsibilities in one or the other way, taking care of my family in one or the other way. So when I reached here, that was the time actually I got some space for myself and time for myself. And that's when I started really giving like time to myself. And I like the space I got here because in India, nature was not so much like close to your home. You have to go far away to actually experience quiet and nature, like peace and nature, because it's so many people and it's crowded. So I think my affinity to nature and the reading my like lots of books, and that's where it actually I started feeling very comfortable. So and I felt like it's my home now.
Oh, that's so wonderful to hear. What kind of stories or books did you feel drawn to?
And actually I'm a big fan of non-fictions.
Oh, okay.
Though I always think as a reader or writer I should like be like spread myself to more like all kind of genres. But
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm very intrigued in human nature and how people go through life, how people have been through so much struggles and their real stories. I'm so much into it. And so I started reading non-fictions actually a lot.
Okay. Okay, that's
So
cool. No, I used to read a lot of autobiographies myself, and I think that's why I wanted to do this podcast as well, because I love storytelling and hearing of people's stories and what makes them and stuff. So, yeah, I'm grateful that you're here sharing your own story too, and hopefully people listening can also be inspired.
yes, I am too.
So can you please tell us what experience shaped the way that you see the world today? So I know that we've talked and you have just a lot of like life stories, a lot of experiences. So yeah, how did these help to shape the way that you view the world?
uh, I think there are a lot of things I would say. First would be I believe in my growing up
Hmm.
as a in my childhood, I faced a lot of grief and loss. So I think that's how I grew up. So my experience with grief and loss and taking care of my mom as a child, as a teenage girl, that's how actually shaped me, how I see the world and how I think about life. And actually, it has made me more compassionate, I would say, and more understanding to human nature. So my life experiences were very different from a girl of my age at that time.
Yeah.
So that made me a different way, a different person, or see the world in a different way. Like I felt that I couldn't. There were times when I realized that I wanted to share something, but because all of my friends were of my same age, and then there was no way they could understand because how loss is or how grief is of losing a brother or a young child in a family. And then my mother got sick when I was 12. So that's how one of the way I would say that made me who I am today. And another thing I would see that how I see the world is because of my deep friendships. I've been really blessed and fortunate to have deep friendships and true friends. So all along my life, since my childhood, maybe I was 6 or 7, I always had like good friends in every time of my life. And I'm so fortunate that I'm really connected to each one of them. Like you can say soulmates or true friends. So that's one of the experience with being like connected to heart with people. I think that changes a lot inside you. And the other thing I would say is reading literature. Literature inspires me a lot. Means it made me like think and pause when I read big authors or philosophers or their writings. It actually made me think. It's not just like a reading or getting knowledge or wisdom from me. When I read something, I connect that to myself, to my experience. Then I relate that how it can be for other people too. So it's really inspiring for me to read literature and think about it and express in my own life, reading and sharing that with whoever I meet with. So these and all other things, maybe I would say my father was an extraordinary man. I think not like directly, but now I see how he lived his life, how he lived his life. That's also made me see how the world is like shaping my own view of the world. My father has a great role to play with it. He was an extraordinary man. He was like way ahead of his generation. So his spirit to live, his enthusiasm, that's another reason that how I see my world, how I see life.
No, that's really beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And, I'm so sorry for your losses and what you've been through in your life. And, like I was saying earlier, I think you're such a beautiful poet and, just the way you're able to use storytelling and even like a way for healing. So, when did you first start writing poetry and what drew you to this as being a way of expression?
Actually, when I started writing, it wasn't poetry. I just would write something what I felt at certain situation, how I felt about it, maybe meeting with any person, maybe my own emotions and feeling. I started writing poetry when I actually started reading poetry.
Oh, okay.
So, yes. So, and I think Mary Oliver's poem, that also actually inspired me a lot. Because when I read her poem, it's a lot about like nature and ordinary days and how you just observe and notice your daily surroundings and you write about them. So when I read Mary Oliver's poem, I learned that I can also write poems.
Yeah.
So that's how I started writing poetry. And the poems of Emily Dickinson, Virginia Woolf. These were the poets, like when I read about them, I felt like I can write also. Okay. So, yeah, so that's how I did.
No, that's really cool. And thank you for sharing. So did you notice like a journey from like when you first started writing poetry to how you are now? Like, have there been changes in the way that you write?
Yes, I think because I like poetry because it's like deeper than any other form of writing. So I don't think I write a lot of poetry, but yeah, I think I write better now. I don't know. Means I can express better in few words. Means
Yeah.
mm, I think so. But yeah, I don't know if, because I haven't shared much what I write. So
Yeah.
I basically write for myself, or I just
Oh.
share with my close friends and family. So
Okay, cool.
yeah.
No, yeah, I was just wondering because so I write poetry myself too. And the thing is like when I first started writing, I felt like it was more like just writing in a journal, just getting my emotions out on paper. And I went to UC Berkeley and I took this wonderful course. It was called Poetry for the People, and I learned more about like technique and different styles of poetry. So, I thought that was cool. So, yeah, I was just curious to see if like there's other like forms or techniques that you've kind of played around with in your poetry.
And recently I started writing haikus.
Oh, okay,
So
cool.
yeah, I really
Yeah.
actually like that style. So
Yeah.
I want to like do more on that. I want to like write more about it. So
Yeah.
yes.
No, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
know we were talking, I'd love for you to share some of that
Right.
with us later. And so I was just wondering, how does your experience of being an immigrant shape your identity or your sense of identity, belonging, or home?
Uh, for me, the home is where your heart is, I would
Hmm.
say.
Yeah.
So I moved here, and the biggest drawback I felt was that I was really far away from my home, because India and US is like you
Yeah.
have to like travel for like a 26 hours flight, and
Wow.
it's such a big different time zone. So, and whenever there's something, you cannot be there for them, neither in like good times or bad times, or
Hmm.
they cannot be there for you. So I think that was the biggest drawback. But once I started like working, and I have this, I would say, I have this ability to deeply connect with people.
Yeah.
So I think that helped me. So once you make deep connections wherever you are, I think life becomes more joyful. I would say that. So of course I missed my home all these years, and I wanted to be there at times where I could not. But
Hmm.
I think my deep connections here with my friends and people whom I'm connected to like help me feel that I belong here.
Yeah.
And I wherever I went, I worked or volunteered or met people, I would say that people always welcome me with open arms. So after a time, I made deep connections. I started feeling that I belonged here. And the other thing again, then my affinity to nature,
Mm.
because that's another reason, because I could get so close to nature so easily.
Yeah.
That's where I belong. I feel. For me, nature is like God.
Yeah.
So when I'm there, I feel more connected and centered. So I had more accessibility than in my own country. So that's another reason I feel that I belong to this place.
Yeah. No, that's so wonderful. And do you have a chance to still visit India sometimes?
Yeah, I visit every year actually.
Oh, right. Right on. Okay.
I visit every, yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I
No,
visit every
that's
year.
that's such a long flight. I had no idea that it was such a long flight to India.
Yeah, it's like sometimes it's more than 24 hours. Like,
Wow.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's beautiful. And thank you for sharing that. So, what helped to shape your voice as a poet?
As a poet, I was saying that my own life experiences
Hmm.
and my desire to express and share,
Yeah.
because I really have that strong desire. And my ability to notice and pay attention to the details
Hmm.
about the life which is happening around. So that is my voice, I think, in my writing, in my poem, that how I have experienced life
Hmm.
since like my childhood. And it wasn't just like a short span of time, like it was from my teenage to adult. Like it was like you won't say like a normal path people usually have. Though I think I'm blessed, I feel blessed about that. It's not that I feel that it wasn't a normal path for me. Actually, I feel more blessed and fortunate, because it has given me so much like like treasures of life, I would say. So my own life experiences, my desire to express,
Hmm.
And yes, I notice my life around very deeply.
Yeah.
What is happening, like ordinary days, like morning sun or birds flying in the
Yeah.
sky, or how kids are playing in the park, or how a person is walking their dog, or how an old man is holding the hand of his wife and they're walking together.
Yeah.
And yeah, and how a long afternoon summer changes to evening, or how early dawn looks like when it's really cold. So these are my
Yeah.
observation, which actually shapes my voice in my writing or in my book.
Yeah. No, that's really cool. And I think that's so beautiful. Like, what a, yeah, just a gift and treasure that you have to see beautiful things, just in everyday things. So, how has that been for you, like to like take your observations and actually like put it on paper? Because something that I really like about your poetry that I'm striving to do with my own writing, is to like put more imagery, use those kind of words. So yeah, how are you able to do that? Like, take what you see and actually like put beautiful words together to like actually put that image together.
Do I use beautiful words? I don't know. I, 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 I think I just write what I feel and
Yeah.
whatever words comes to my mind. Because
Yeah.
honestly, where I grew up in my education system, when I learned English, we didn't
Mhm.
have any lessons on writing, like
Wow.
no classes on writing.
Wow.
So even literature part was like 20% of your whole English language part.
Uh-huh.
So it's like I didn't learn writing skills or something, or how to use vocabulary, how to structure a writing, or how to sequence a
Yeah.
writing. So I never learned that. And it all started, I think, when I started reading,
Okay.
and I felt that I can write too, and I just write what I feel. And the the most that thing that moves me a lot is I look around.
Yeah.
So what is the time of the day? How
Mhm.
is the noise around me?
Yeah.
Is this quiet, or I can hear the birds or listen to the birds, or how is the weather? How like you can say I emphasize more on the senses,
Uh-huh.
and then I try to use the words about what I'm feeling.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. And how has writing helped you heal or make meaning? I know that you were talking about going through a lot of different experiences and challenges in your life. So yeah, how is
Mm,
writing a part of this and helping you to process things?
Writing, specifically journaling, I think that I would say has healed me.
Hmm.
So I used to write off and on like some stories or prose, but I have never, or I would journal too at times, but I haven't never like journaled regularly. But
Hmm.
since 2020, like I started journaling regularly. And at that time, I lost my father, and it was COVID, and I was very isolated at home. And in my family, my mom, my father, and my brother, like,
Hmm.
and me, we were four people. And when my father died, I just realized that I have lost everyone in my family. So
Wow.
I think that was that thing, that loss, that grief was, journaling was the way to cope with that, I would say. So I started writing every day, every morning, whatever I felt, what was going inside me. And then again, it was time of COVID. Everybody was at home. I couldn't go outside to meet people. I couldn't go out to work.
Hmm.
So, but after 5 or 6 months in 2020, I still remember, like on 31st December 2020, I read my journal, like the last 6 months or 8 months,
Yeah.
what I wrote. I think that was the most powerful thing. When I read about what I wrote, my thoughts, how I reacted, how I felt on certain days, what made me more sad, what made me calm, what made me joyful. So it was kind of a psychotherapy for my own self. So when I learned that, it helped me, and I think I didn't know that, but it healed me, and it started healing me in a way I never expected. So journaling had been a very powerful tool for my own growth.
Uh-huh.
So since then, I've been writing regularly. So I would say that way, my writing has been a healing tool for me.
Yeah. Well, that's
And if you say meaning, then making meaning for yeah, making meaning for the sense, I would say that if my writing connects to one single heart, I would truly say that. And they feel that by reading it, they feel more understood or comfortable or can relate to it. So I think then there is a meaning than what I do, like how I live, how I write, how I express. So if people think or that there is someone, there are a lot of people actually, and my writing help them understand and acknowledge their struggles more, then I would say I give this is a meaning for my writing.
Yeah.
That gives meaning for my writing, I would say. Yeah.
No, I really love that. And, because it seems like you're just a really observant person and, just like have a lot of reflection. So, when you're in those moments, like what is it that moves you to like pick up a pen and actually start writing about what you're thinking about?
What moves me?
Uh-huh. Like what is it
So,
that it's like, oh,
mhm.
this would make a really good poem.
So when I sit down,
Uh,
I write mostly about my experience, how it started is.
yeah.
Because actually when it happened, I didn't understood them. Like because I was child, it was more than I could like take on as a child.
Uh-huh.
So I understood them gradually as I grew up. But I think for the last 5 or 6 years, I would say, has been really transforming for me. And writing is the greatest part of my transformation. I can say that. So when I write about how I felt at that time when I was a child or I was a teenage girl taking care of my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just write what I felt.
Yeah.
And then I try my feelings
Mm-hmm.
as an adult, those feelings which happened when I was a child. But now I'm looking back at them and trying to understand as an adult that happened to me.
Okay.
So I think that I have something inside me like I want to write. So I always have felt that there are very few people, like of course I have the best of friends and true friends, but I still
Mm-hmm.
feel that what goes inside you, there are a lot of it, you only know what is happening inside you. So I inspired of instead of finding like people to I do share with people, but then I think I share with my words in my own writing. Because writing is kind of my another best friend, I would say.
Yeah.
So and I just write and then I read it and then I try to reflect on it. And I think that has been a very evolving experience for me, like as a woman, as a human being, and for my personal growth.
Yeah. No, thank you for sharing that. And what parts of your cultural background do you feel is most present in your writing?
My family, my family
Okay,
structure,
that's wonderful.
because I grew up in a joint family
Hmm.
and we are very closely bonded with each other.
Uh-huh.
So, though I have lost my aunts and uncles, but I think I'm really like, in spite of these 20 years, I've been so in this, like so far away from them. But I think I'm very close to their heart and they're very close to my heart. So my
Uh-huh.
writing has that bonding, that closeness in how we shared our like sadness or joy or celebration.
Uh-huh.
So I think that's my writing consists of.
Oh, that's so cool. And I don't know if you realize this about yourself, but I feel like, your writing is so beautiful and it inspires people. I'm just speaking for myself, but I feel like, you like even putting it out there that, you see things as beautiful and putting that in writing, like me reading your work, it like makes me think differently about, just how beautiful things are. So how do you see your poetry helping to make our community stronger and more beautiful? Like, do you see your writing as like helping to contribute towards this beauty with humanity?
As far as much as I have written, and I don't think I have written much,
Uh,
but whoever has read my writing or poetry, my friends my or the people I know or my family, I have I have I've mostly heard this feedback that it's very genuine,
mm-hmm.
it's very honest, and it touches their heart. So these are the things I've always heard that about my writing. So I think when we are vulnerable when people see our scars and wounds
Mm-hmm.
and weaknesses, we become more human,
Right.
and people are able to connect with us more.
Yeah.
And in my view, my this world, actually today's world, needs us to be more human.
Uh-huh.
So I think that's way my writing can make us community strong and beautiful. So
Yeah.
becoming us more human, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And I would also say that my vulnerability is actually my strength,
Uh-huh.
my tool to connect to another soul.
Yeah.
So, and that is that's reflected in my writing, and that's how I think I can give it to the world
Yeah.
or
No.
any community. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's so beautiful. And I hope you realize like what a beautiful gift you're giving to us, the larger world and, just individuals too, and helping us in our own healing process. It's really a beautiful thing that you're doing. And, next I'd love to talk with you more about, your work as a substitute teacher, because yeah, I know you make a lot of contributions in that way as well. So as a substitute teacher, you step into so many different classrooms and communities. So what has this taught you about children, humanity, or connection?
It's an interesting job. I would say it's hard and easy both.
Okay.
So, yeah, but I can also say that substitute teaching has brought immense joy and growth into my life, like the ways
Mhm.
I have never expected. Means when I came from India, I substitute teaching or a guest teaching was like something that you would never want to do, because in
Mhm.
India there is a very different school system, and you are like you're just sitting in the room and you're just being a guest teacher, and nobody takes you seriously.
Okay.
So, but when I came here, I wanted to go to teaching, but then I wanted to try first as a substitute teacher. But at that time, I never knew that I will always be a substitute teacher. So I went into the room, and the thing is that I take substitute teaching as life, because your day starts and you never know what's going to happen.
Mhm.
Which room are you going? How the kids will be? How the lesson plans would be?
Yeah.
So it's very uncertain. So, but now after those years, I have my own schools and I have my own places. I go most of the time, like those places, I'm being called in those places. But in the beginning few years when I started working, and we moved a lot during
Mhm.
those years. So I never have to, always have to find a new place in a new school and new people. So first few months were a little like, I would say, a cultural shock for me, because the school system is very different here.
Right.
But then after a while, I started enjoying a lot. So it has taught me to be more patient, more
Mhm.
flexible, and I think more alive, because you never
Yeah.
know what's going to happen next. And the other thing is, I usually go to like kinder to third grade mostly.
Okay,
And
so
that
the really
age
young
group,
ones.
yes, yeah,
Oh.
that's another reason of my
Yeah.
joy, actually. I do
Yeah.
go fourth and fifth, but I don't go above elementary. And I'm
Okay.
being very loved, actually. I'm their favorite Mrs. K,
Yeah. No,
because
I
they
could
cannot
see
say my
that.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
So
what
I
did you
love
say
when
they
I,
call you?
because that's another thing. When I was in school, and I was in teaching in India or in school, in India, we don't call your teacher by name. You
Okay.
say ma'am or sir.
Mm.
So in the when I moved here, so I realized that to connect to you, they need to call you by name.
Mm-hmm.
And my name, like Kukreja, it's so hard for them. And as a substitute teacher, when you go to higher grades, kids just need a reason to make fun of you, right? So my
Yeah.
name can be another reason, right?
Yeah.
So, but I never took it like seriously, or personally. I know that what I was doing. So I made it short for them, like K.
Okay.
So that, and one day something happened very interestingly, because I used to go in kinder. Yeah, I went to kindergarten and I introduced me like Mrs. K. I'm Mrs. K.
Uh-huh.
And you know how kinders are just in the early months, they're practicing all their letters.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them like forgot it's K, because there's so many letters for them to remember. And I
Oh.
just said, I'm Mrs. K. And so one of them came to me and said, "Hi, Mrs. P," or "I need this
Oh.
Miss P."
That's so
So
cute.
one of the students came in and he said that, "No, she's not Mrs. P, she's Mrs. K." So
Oh,
I was like the letters, like, because I think they were learning the letter P that day or something.
uh-huh.
So yeah, it's fun. And I think I have been given like so much joy from them.
Yeah.
And I'm a very loved substitute teacher, and I
Yeah.
enjoy my work.
No,
Like,
I
I
see
look
that.
forward to it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, you're just
So,
that kind of person, and
and
I see how people can just like fall in love with you. That's really cool that you're
yeah.
making that difference for the children. And can you talk more about the way that you show up in the classroom? So are you able to show care and make connections with the students?
Yes, yes, I can. I am really good in it, actually.
That's wonderful.
So the thing is, I have always learned that it doesn't. Though the school system is different and education system is different, the structure of the school is different,
Mm-hmm.
totally different culture. But I think, especially with this age, or with anyone, that's a connection you make with people, like human to human connection, is the most important thing for whether it's your work or it's your family. Like,
Uh-huh.
so for especially with this age of K to 3, so I think this human to the heart to heart connection is like, they need to know that, okay, the actual teacher is not here, but this guest teacher is someone who might we can talk to, and if you have something to ask,
Mm-hmm.
we can. So I go in there, I just give my, like, I'm very firm, but I'm very soft too.
Mm-hmm.
I just talk to them, give my expectations, what I want from them, and I just tell them, because for them structure is very important for little
Right.
kids. So I
Right.
just tell them very nicely that there might be things which might be different today, like not
Mm-hmm.
your actual Mrs. Peter or your teacher.
Yeah.
There might be different. And sometimes being different is okay. Like, if we
Mm-hmm.
have a different day, like not a usual day when your teacher is, that's okay too. So I think that helps. Once they get the clarity that
Mm-hmm.
it's okay to have a different day and it's okay to do things differently with the guest teacher,
Yeah.
they understand that. They just need some structure and some clarity that how they're going to how their day would be.
Yeah.
So I
Oh,
think
that's cool.
I try to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so wonderful. I wish I could be a fly on the wall and watch like you with the kids. Oh, that's
Right? It's
beautiful.
more freedom, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You
And
know,
I to be and yeah, I was saying that the best, like the most loving part for me is like reading a story to them, especially with
oh,
this. Means
uh-huh.
I try to find a time where I can. Usually, teacher leaves me a lesson plan, and there's almost a read aloud time. But if not, I try to make a time where I can read at least 10-15 minutes to them. And I love when I read the story, and I love the expressions they have and how the story unfolds and how they have their curiosity. Now that's the best part of my day. So that reading stories to them,
Yeah. Oh, that's
especially from
wonderful.
kinder to third. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing those experiences with us. And something I want to do with this podcast is show people that you don't have to like have a title or like make big changes, in the community in order to like contribute towards like making a better and more beautiful world. Like it even comes down to like the smallest acts of kindness that you do every day. So with that, how do everyday acts of care, like teaching, writing, or listening, function as a way to make a better world?
As you just said, that you don't have to have a big title
Mm-hmm.
to make big changes. And I think, I also believe that truly.
Uh-huh.
Because sometimes when you are in big title or big positions, you
Mm-hmm.
have so much on yourself
Right.
that you are not able to take time and do things, or the things you actually want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, for that, I think what is most hard is to taking time and be present.
Yeah.
So, and being present doesn't mean that you have to be there and doing big things, as you said. I
Mm-hmm.
would say that, sometimes I see myself that, oh, like, I'm not doing big contributions to the society or making big changes,
Mm-hmm.
or in a way of achievements or successes, like how usually it is described.
Mm-hmm.
But when I think that if somebody needs to talk to in my family or my friend,
Mm-hmm.
and I would be just there for them, I listen to them and without any judgments. that's another way of my contributing to someone.
Yeah.
So sometimes we go out and do lots of great good or charity or donations. I'm not judging that to the world, but I've seen people that doing this lots of good actions and charity to the world, and they're not very they're unaware or ignorant of the people around them, like their own close families. So I think it starts from your home.
Yeah.
You don't have to do a lot, but if your family, your home, who are close to you, they need you, and you don't have to help people. There are different ways to help people. It's not just about money. Your writing can help, your talk can help. You're just being there and be there and sit with them, taking your time, your presence, and even listening without just giving your advice. Or sometimes just people, what need is they need just want to be listened,
Right.
acknowledge that what they have been going through.
Yeah.
So I think that's another way that you can contribute. And that's my way, I would say. That even I am so far away from my family. It's been 20 years. And I would say that I'm connected and I'm in touch with each one of my family and friends.
Yeah.
Means, yes. And I take time, and I don't know how much I can do or help to them in certain situations where I think I'm not able to at times. But at least if they call me, I can just listen to them. And if I can, if they need any advice or something, I can share. But yes, I'm there. I think being present and listening to people is one of the greatest contribution we can do at this time. Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, no, I love that too. And I really feel like all these small actions, like, can add up to a lot, though. And I feel like what you're saying right now, too, I feel like there's so much division right now, especially in our country. And, I feel like people just aren't listening to each other. So, I think they're like, I hope people could take heed to what you're saying. Like, we just got to sit down and listen more and not just like think about what we have to say is
right.
important. But yeah.
And there's so much information and wisdom on the social media, like people, especially through this age, like, right. And yeah, I think that would be easy if we have more people we can talk and they can listen.
Yeah.
So listening is a greatest tool to be a kind and good human being, I would say. And it's hard to listen. It's not easy. It's easy to talk, but hard to listen. Yeah.
No, I love that. And thank you for sharing that wisdom. And so if you could speak to your younger self, the one that was just arriving here, what would you want her to know?
Come here and build communities. Reach out to people.
Yeah.
Because I made some friends, I don't know, but we moved a lot, but I didn't make a lot of communities. Like I would say, go out, sit in the park, say hello to the people, like volunteer. Because there are people come to this country for many different reasons. Like of course, they want to work and have a good life and they want to have good education. But don't forget, take some time to go out, like meet personally, not like on social media or Facebook, or actually meet face to face. Try to organize yourself with things like which is more like human to human connection. So I know it's hard when you come here, you feel so isolated. I felt like that. Yeah. I made some friends, but I couldn't connect to a lot of communities. One of the reasons was I moved a lot. And that's another way I learned and grow, by moving a lot. That's every situation has its own blessings. But I think reaching out, meeting people, volunteering, and sharing your uniqueness, because everybody is unique, wherever you are, which culture you are from. So don't hesitate if you have a different language, if you eat different food, and not only build communities with your own culture. I would say build communities with different cultures. That's the main thing. Usually Indians try to find Indians, so I think that makes a life more joyful and fulfilling, what I feel is. Yeah. And I should have done more of that, I would say.
No, that's beautiful. Yeah, well, thank you so much for your time today. I had such a wonderful time talking with you. But before we wrap up our conversation, would you like to share any like poetry or any pieces that you have?
Sure. Let's see.
Yeah, yeah, I'd love to hear.
I have some haikus.
Yeah, I'd love to hear.
Yeah.
No, I'd love to learn more how to do the haikus. I think I just know the structure, but I would love to learn how to write better with
No, I
haikus.
don't think I've learned but I think like an actual structure thing.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, but I actually follow the actual structure, but let's see.
Uh-huh.
She dies and rebirths. She screams, she's silent, she dances, she's still, until she's free from the cycle of things. The cheery smiles, the speaking eyes, the longing heart, the seeking soul, the birds in the sky know all the secrets.
Mm.
The sun has dawns and dusks. The earth has its people and their pains, and the moon has its own light and its own phases. The world is a weird place. The time is the truest teacher. Life intermingles and lost among them.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
The world was busy as it has always had been. The day was moving in its own place. The storm came and the soul was forever scarred.
Mm.
I am the breeze and I am the wind. I am the leaves dancing till I drop. Still my heart is hankering for lightness.
Mm.
The glow of the sun dancing on the leaves, the breeze coming through the car's window. Are you still looking for a miracle? Leaves hanging on the branches, some green, some yellow, some drops. The journey is complete. The spider web has a story of storms and winds. Every moment is like a life lived. The dawn colors the sky orange. The dusk does the same. One has hope and the other has the day's burdens. The river flows carelessly. The rocks and stones embrace it. The sea just waits with its depth.
Mm.
The words are disguised. The language is limited. The silence is behind is eternal. I think I'm good.
Okay, cool. No, thank you so much for sharing. That's incredibly beautiful, and yeah, I'd love hearing your writing, your poetry, and I can't wait to see where this journey will take you. But thank you again for your time today, and I had a really wonderful time talking with you, and thank you for bringing your whole self, your whole heart to this conversation. I really appreciate that.
Actually, thank you to you. I really appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to my stories.
Yeah, no, of course. Okay, well, thank you again, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, Denise. You have a good day too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for being here and tuning in to Voices That Propel Us, stories of justice, action, and community. Your presence in this movement matters. If today's conversation moved you, share it, talk about it, and keep the work going. Together, we're not just imagining change, we're making it. Until next time, stay bold, stay grounded, and stay in the fight.